It's time for today's perspective on the programme. And go back in history, and war has meant battles at sea and hulking wooden warships, or on the battlefield with swords, spears, or more recently, of course, guns. Of late, it's meant more heavy weaponry, even chemical or nuclear weapons. The future, though, well, many say, is for war from the desktop. Warnings then that one of the greatest threats to national security is through cyber warfare, amid claims it's a battle that most countries are woefully prepared for. With me here on set today is author of a book, Cybersecurity, Face au défi de la confiance, or Cybersecurity in the Face of the Challenge of Trust. The book voted, in fact, Best Cybersecurity Book by the International Cybersecurity Forum. Philippe Trochaud is head of a group at PwC, that's formerly PricewaterhouseCoopers, France and Francophone Africa's consultancy, Cyber Intelligence. You bring together more than 150 people, in fact, to try to address the problem. Thanks very much for being with us on the programme today. Let's talk about this, first of all, on a national level. I mean, cybersecurity, is it really something that governments need to be worried about at this stage?
Definitely yes, because you have some government that try to acquire some sensitive information in the cyber world, I would say. They try to also attack. It had been the case in Russia, Ukraine, blah, blah, blah. So definitely it's a kind of global war for the government, but also for the organized crime, because they are moving from a physical attack to cyber attack. The CIA told us that it's something like twice the drugs economy, so it's a massive, it has a massive impact on the economy. Most of the study revealed that it's something that costs to the worldwide economy something like $300 billion, so it's a massive impact on the economy. And definitely the government needs to have an angle where they are able to respond to those kind of attacks. This means that they need to observe the web and to react to that. And for the company, it's always long to detect an attack. It takes more than 200 days to be able to detect an attack. So,
how on earth can a government do that, though? As you say, it takes a long time to detect. Yeah. And let's face it, I mean, the World Wide Web is just infinite, isn't it? I mean, trying to police that and follow that must be almost impossible, isn't it?
Yeah. The first difficulty for the government, and specifically for the military bodies, is that you cannot have a cartography of the web, so you don't know how to observe it. So it's when you are in a military mindset, your business is to observe and react to an observation, and on the web you cannot observe. So you can observe part of the web, but so the reaction can be also difficult to determine, because you don't know who is attacking you. Sometimes it can even come from your own country. So it's much more difficult, and the first challenge for every government, every company, is the human capital, because there is a lack of close to 1 million of professionals who are missing on the market. Very soon, in 2020 is going to be 2 million. So the fact to attract the best talent in cyber for the government, the company, and even for a smallest company is definitely the key challenge.
And presumably, as governments are trying to do their bit to tackle the problem, that the people who are doing the attacking are getting even more advanced and developing new ways all the time as well.
As you start your introduction by the history, and when you look to the history, the organized crime has always taken advantage of the technology before the state and before the company. So, of course, we will have artificial intelligence to deal with cyber, but I suspect that the organized crime will have a better usage rather than the government or that. So the key point for all the government and the company is to set up a new way to collaborate around cyber, to anticipate the new threats, and to anticipate the way to resolve incidents. So today, we have a very low level of collaboration in the country and at the worldwide level. So definitely, if we want to reinforce the trust on the digital, the only way to do that is to collaborate and be able to attract the best talent on these new topics, in fact.
You mentioned Russia earlier. I mean, where is this coming from? Is it I mean, presumably it's not just from Russia, but where is it coming from?
No, as I said, it's always difficult to say it's come from Russia or North Korea. It's same with the spy. You don't know who is he really. So it's definitely a way to mediatize some information, but it's difficult to say it's come from Russia or from North Korea, blah, blah, blah. So that's one of the difficulties. You don't know from where is coming the attack.
And presumably it's also just from individual people who are particularly skilled, if you like, in targeting. They could just be using their home computer at home.
Yeah, exactly. In the last, I would say, 20 years, the good hacker were just the bad guys who are knocking on the door and say, okay, you have a problem with cyber. The problem comes when the government or the organized crime are using those skills to make some professional attacks and to rob some strategic information or some payment information. So that we need those kind of skills, but the way that is used is definitely different. We are entering, as you mentioned, in a kind of worldwide war, which is a cyber war, but we have a very strong impact in the economy. We mentioned the numbers earlier in the discussion, but the point is that it has a major impact on the trust of the customer. In fact, 2/3 of the French customer does not have a trusted relationship with the web. So if you look to the wonderful promise of the digital age, it can be a big issue if the people don't trust this new media, in fact.
That's the sort of national, international side of it. I mean, what about us sitting at home on our computer or whatever? I mean, how worried should we be, and how could this all affect us?
When you look to the first page of a travel guide, they always say, do not have anything to be robbed, you won't be attacked. So it's exactly the same on the web. If you don't leave your payment information on every website, they won't be robbed. So definitely, the main issue is around the education. In fact, we have to explain the risk, and we have to even the teenager, let them know what are the good behavior on the web, which is not something that we do in school or in college, blah, blah, blah. So definitely, it has been done, for example, in the transportation, where when you enter in a plane, you have something is explained to you. So we need to do exactly the same with the new digital. We have to explain the risk and explain to the people what are the good behavior and what are the wrong behavior. And it may start earlier in the day. I mean, for the teenager or even at the primary school, it can be good to do that.
And just very briefly, I mean, it sounds like doomsday scenario, but I mean, how bad could this get? What kind of things could we see because of this? I mean, could we see airplanes falling out of the sky, that kind of thing?
It's always easy to predict the worst, in fact. So, of course, what we can see is that most of the, I would say, national infrastructure, I mean the road, the airport, were not really concerned by this risk. It just came recently when we connect everything. So we definitely need to reinforce that. The European Commission mentioned that the infrastructure, has a bad or even sometimes very bad level of security. So this is an investment that we need to do, and it probably will come from an incentive coming from the state and the government.
Philippe Trochaud, great to have you with us on the programme.
Thank you.
Explained it perfectly. There you go, cybersecurity, all summed up for us by our expert today here on set, Philippe Trochaud. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
If you just